Good evening, and welcome to Hanging with the Walkers. Here with my host and co-host, Rogers Walker.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Greetings.
Oh, welcome again to another beautiful Monday night of Hanging with the Walkers. We are so excited to have our guest in the house with us on tonight. None other than Joe North, attorney at law of the North Law Firm out of Fort Myers, Florida. We are ready to have you be blessed with his presence as much as he has blessed us. Some people have an opportunity to just be in your presence and make you feel comfortable. And then there are others that have to work at it. Well, we met an awesome man of God in Fort Myers at the Lee Pitts Live, and just his presence, smiling, made us feel comfortable and made us feel as if he had known us all his life. So we want to bless you just like he has blessed us. So we want to introduce to you now Mr. Joe North. And please tell us who the real Joe North is, what you want our audience to know on Hanging with the Walkers.
Well, thank you for having me, and I tell you, Roger and Barbara, those feelings are mutual because from the time that I met you guys, we met you guys, we have felt so connected to you. We've felt like family to you, and I know that your spirit is one of blessing, and I think that's part of the reason why I felt so connected to you because we are both in a way in the business of being there for others, blessing others, and spreading the word. So thank you. But in terms of who I am, like you said, I'm Joe North. I'm a lawyer here in Fort Myers, born and raised in the Dunbar community of Fort Myers, Florida, which is a predominantly African American community. And I've been practicing law here now for 34 years, even though
Mm,
it seems like it's just been about 3 or 4 years. But the
wow.
time flies by, and I think it flies by because I really enjoy doing what I do, which is handling personal injury cases, the accident cases. So I'm here for the community to help them through really some of the most difficult times that families have to go through.
That is so awesome. And I know that you're feeling what we're feeling right now. It's just something about his presence that makes you think to yourself, you know what, it's going to be all right. And who wouldn't want to have someone such at this magnitude, a law firm at this magnitude that will make you feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, I think they really want to help me. I think they want to
Mhm.
get the best out of what it is that I'm trying to say. They understand what it is that I'm trying to say. And that being
Yes.
said, I found this little clip before we get started, and I want to play that so that someone can hear what we heard. Let me see if it'll let me play it.
Okay.
Got a room for death, who you gonna call for the claim? Call Joe. You had a slip and fall, and it's not your fault, but you don't know who to blame. Call Joe. You got injured on the job, and your workman's compensation still ain't came. Call Joe. You was in a car wreck, and you're searching for the best. I can think of one name. Call Joe. Joe North. Joe North. Joe North. Joe North. Joe North. Go, 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 Joe. Go, 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 Joe. Go, go. Be my Joe.
Thank you. Thank
Oh my
you.
God. So when I heard that advertisement, I said to myself, okay, he got his own song, baby. We're a little behind time. We got to catch up. He got his own he got his own intro song.
Yes, sir.
And we want to say it for the record, we do not own the rights to the Joe North video playing in this interview. We want to say that so that you will know that we do not own the rights. Joe North owns his own video. Again, I'll say we do not own the rights to the Joe North video playing in this interview. But I want you to know from this side of town who it is that we're dealing with.
That's
Go,
right.
Joe. We want Joe.
That's
Oh my God, I love that. When I heard DJ Skinny play
Mhm.
that at Lee Pitts Live, oh man, we were laughing like, dang, boy, that's awesome. He got his own intro.
We're in the presence of
We're in the
celebrities.
presence of celebrities, boy. So, what is it that you want to share? I know you said 34 years as an attorney. I understand that you are married to the beautiful Benita North. So, please tell us about your family and share whatever you want to about your family.
Yes, so you are right. Benita is beautiful inside and out,
Yes.
and so smart.
Hmm.
She's able to help me, navigate all the marketing for the law firm,
Oh,
um,
nice.
consistent with that jingle that you just listened to and played for us. But yeah, Benita and I, we going into our 20th year of marriage, loving
Congratulations.
every minute, every second of it. And our relationship runs deep,
Hmm.
not just in terms of the two of us, but also in terms of our faith in Jesus. And because we know, you know, whose we are,
Hmm.
we're able to go out and do the things that we need to do for others.
That's
And I'm so
awesome.
happy to be, going through life with her, and I'm just blessed by that. And we've got two kids,
Hmm.
Joseph Jr., and we've got Kim, and then we've got two grandkids, Kenneth and Gabe, and
Okay.
we're loving family life.
And I enjoy seeing the trips with the family, the grandkids, and whatnot. Just spending quality time with them, and them being the male seed in the Joshua generation in your family. Them seeing a loving family, them seeing closeness, them seeing quality and values. That's so important. So thank you for passing the knowledge on. Thank you for sharing with them what it's supposed to look like, regardless of what they see otherwise. In my own
Hmm.
family, I'm able to see family values.
That's right.
Hmm.
Yes. And then the
Thank you.
beautiful, beautiful trips that you all are taking. I'm like, dang, I should be a grandchild, you
I
know?
know. I told my wife. I said, honey, I thought we were family. What happened?
Oh my goodness. And of course, he is snowed because you are a FSU graduate.
About them nose.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So
Yeah,
when
we're
he
not
saw that,
playing too well this year, but we're fans nonetheless, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right. We'll bounce back like always.
Yes, sir.
what die hard.
Oh yeah, die hard for
Die
life.
hard. It doesn't matter if they win or lose,
Die
right?
hard. We
That's
Seminole for
right.
life.
That's it. That's it. And I understand that the law firm was established around 1990. Is that right?
Yeah, so I started practicing law in 1990, right after college and right after law school. I came back home, mainly because this is my community and this is where I wanted to make a difference. And also,
Hmm.
my parents were here. I was born and raised here, so I came back to Fort Myers in 1990. Started practicing law.
Hmm.
Originally, I was practicing with a very large law firm, um, and at that time, I was actually representing the other side. I was representing
Oh
large
wow.
employers and representing insurance companies, but I always knew that that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to represent people, my
Mm.
neighbors and my friends. So in 1996, I opened my own law firm, which is the
Wow.
North Law Firm.
Hmm.
And we represent only individuals and families. We do not represent any corporations. It's all
Oh
individuals and
wow.
families. And we've grown over the years. We are now up to 18 employees
All
serving our
right.
community. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So when did you realize you wanted to be a lawyer?
Well, I did not take the traditional route of becoming a lawyer. When I was in college at the Citadel, which is a military college in South Carolina,
Hmm.
at that time I thought I might go into engineering. And it was somewhere along maybe my sophomore year, my second year, that I decided that I can do the most good being a lawyer. And that's
Mm.
when I decided that I wanted to go to law school. And interesting enough, um, when I made that decision, I was not really making the grades that I needed to make to get into law school because I was
Hmm.
on a track and field scholarship. So half
Okay.
of the time I was away from class, away from school in competitions. So I called my parents and asked them if I could come off of my scholarship. And without hesitation, they agreed that they would pay for my college education without my athletic scholarship. In order to do that, they actually had to mortgage the house. And let me
Wow.
Wow.
tell you something, if there's nothing else that can motivate me to get through college, to get through law school, and also to work hard each and every day to this day, is that what my parents did for me, the support that they showed
Mm.
for me, and the sacrifices that they made, make me to this day work hard and do everything that I need to do to
Wow.
really fulfill what their dreams were.
Wow. When I heard that on your interview with Lee Pitts, thank you, sir, for tapping in. Mr. Lee Pitts is on the line tonight. But when I heard that on your interview with him, oh my goodness, tears came to my eyes because I know our parents believe in us. You know, they so into us. But when you said that, I felt that. I
Hmm.
felt the compassion and the thankfulness that you have for your parents. You know, they didn't have to do that for me, but they did. And whatever it takes, I'm going to prove to them that I appreciate
Yes.
what they did for me. I'm telling you, I was sold all over again when I heard that during the interview. And then I was stuck to the TV then. I'm like, okay, this is awesome, you know?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
And then both parents are living.
Unfortunately, my mom passed away in 2012,
Okay.
but my dad is still living and actually probably more physically fit than I am. He's
Wow.
87 years young.
Oh my
Awesome,
God.
awesome.
Oh my
What a
God.
blessing.
Yes, yes.
That is awesome. Like I say, the respect is there. And I know that as young people growing up and nurtured around that kind of atmosphere, sometimes it pushes us. And when we see other kids not going in the right direction, I know that does something to you. That's why I sent that question. When you see a young person that has no hope and no drive, where does your mind go? What is it that you say to them to motivate them to want to do better?
I've got what's called a 4-for-40 rule. Four
Uh-huh.
for 40. And what
Hmm.
I explain to young kids is this: whatever you want to do for the next 40 years, go ahead and spend the next 4 years getting there
Oh, that's
because
good.
you're going to live this life regardless.
Hmm.
So, how you want to live out your adulthood, just spend the next 4 years making that happen. And
That's
in
good.
my example to them is, spend the 4 years going to college or earning a trade or whatever it is that you love to do that's going to help you for the rest of your life. And one other thing that I tell them is this: when we go out into the workforce, we're going to be working at least 8 hours a day.
Hmm.
So 8 hours a day is a third of 24 hours, right?
Hmm.
So a third of your life, you will be working. So make sure that you are doing something that you love and enjoy,
Hmm.
whether it is,
That is so
you
right.
know, being a lawyer, a doctor, a carpenter, a professional athlete, a TV host, whatever it is, just make sure that you love it because if you love it, you'll do well at it.
That's
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
That's it. I like that. So 4 and 40. Spend the next 4 years doing something you expect to spend the next 40 years or your lifetime doing.
Yes, yes. Now you said
That's
it better
good.
than I did.
That's good. That's some great information because for some reason, when it comes time for them to do something to motivate them, that first year they're discouraged. And when I wrote this book, I Do Fit, this is what I put in that book. The enemy already knows your future, already knows where you're headed. So
Hmm.
it sets out to get you off of your path, to discourage you, for you not to make it there. But if you can just hang in there, like you say, do the 4 years, I guarantee you, if you hang in there, you're going to want to strive to go further and to do better. They know
Hmm.
who you are. Your friends know who you are. That's why they hang around you. That's why they cling to you because they know your potential. But
Yes.
do you know your potential? Do you know who you are? Do you know that you fit? So I like that. I'm gonna share that again somewhere to somebody, and I'm gonna make sure I
Hmm.
give you the credit that that's where it came from. That is
And
awesome. I like that.
as you know, um, just like I know, when the enemy comes at us, it's because we are on the right path. It's because we're getting close to those goals. The enemy is not bothering anybody who he already has.
That's it.
He's bothering those that he wants to have.
That's it.
So just take that as a good sign that the enemy is coming for you, and that should just make you work even harder because you're getting closer to achieving that goal.
That's it. That's it. And understanding that.
Mhm.
And then, like you say, just knowing who you are, that's half the
Who you
battle
are.
with our young people, getting to know who they are, because that's so important to me that they can see a Joe North, they can see a Lee Pitts, they can see a Plachette, they can see all of these positive people living a life that they can live.
Hmm.
All they have to do is just set their
Mhm.
mind to it. They can see a Tisha and a Toya, black females on TV. They can see that and say, one day they can be me. They can see a Kamala and say, you
Hmm.
know what, that can be
Right.
me. If we
Hmm.
live it, it's
Mhm.
something about that. Struggles, share our faults, our shortcomings, our struggles with them, and let them know, but I still hung in there. I
Hmm.
still, God
Mhm.
allowed me to make it.
That's right.
And
Yes,
Trust
continue
every
to hang
trial.
around people who are like-minded, who
that's it.
are going where you're going. The Bible talks about iron sharpening iron, and I
Yes.
think that's so true. Case in point, me and Lee Pitts.
Hmm.
We have completely different professions, but we have a common goal, and
Yes.
that is, you know, helping others. In fact, I always say about Lee Pitts, he's the ultimate point guard because all he really wants to do is dish the ball and help somebody else.
That's it.
And I
That's
try
it.
to emulate that, and
Hmm.
so hang around people who are going where you're going and who have the same ideals and dreams that you do.
We come to Fort Myers and hang around you, Mr. North and Mr. Pitt, because you guys have an attitude of servitude.
Hmm.
You guys love to serve, and it rubs
Yes.
off on people. I mean, when we come to Lee Pitts Live down in Fort Myers and see you guys, man, you guys walk up in there, it shifts the whole atmosphere, and we love to be a part of that. And that's what we try to share with everyone, that we have to be amongst our peers. If you want to go somewhere, you got to go where someone is going at.
Hmm.
Yes.
And I tell everybody, whenever you're going in the direction of God, you have to expect controversy. The more
Hmm.
controversy, the closer you are. But a lot of times
Yes.
we don't realize how close we are is because in between direction and destiny, there's distraction. There's so much distraction going on in our life, but we got to keep moving forward. How do we do that there? By what? Connecting with individuals that are kingdom minded and kingdom builder that are going in the same direction that you're trying to go. We
Hmm.
have to rub elbows with those individuals. You can't hang around someone that's going to continue to pull you backwards. You want to hang around someone that continue to pull you forward and hold you accountable for everything that you do. And so when we come
That's
to
why I'm
Fort
hanging
Myers,
with the
that's
Walters.
what we get. It's truly a
That's a
blessing.
good
For
one.
It's
That's
real.
a
For
truly a
good
real.
blessing.
one. Oh my goodness. If you just joined us on tonight, you have the distinct pleasure of being blessed by the presence of Joe North, attorney at law at the Joe North Law Firm in Fort Myers, Florida. We want you to experience what we experience. We want you to feel the same love that he shared with us. You may not be physically able to touch him, but just through his conversation and his life and his testimony will let you know that if there's something that you need law firm wise, that is the place to be. Again, the North Law Firm, they are at two locations, and I understand 5220 Summerlin Commons Boulevard.
Yes.
All right, Suite
Yes.
300 in Fort Myers, and their second location, 8201 Peters Road, Suite 1000 in Plantation, Florida. I am going to post for you the North Law Firm while we're talking, their information, phone numbers, toll-free phone numbers, and also their email address, so that if you need their services, and if I understood the commercial right, if they are trying to get connected or services for damage during the storm or after the storm, they're able to contact your law firm.
Yes, because we have found, unfortunately, that after these storms, insurance companies do not always compensate people for the damage to their homes or to their businesses. They either outright deny claims or they undervalue claims. So
Mhm.
if someone is experiencing, that type of conduct by an insurance company, then yes, we want them to call us so that we can get them compensation. And it doesn't cost the client anything to hire us. If we don't get the recovery for the client, then there's no fee at all.
That's awesome. And that is Joe North of the North Law Firm. Again, they not only do help with the storm. There are vehicle accident, negligent security, assault and battery, wrongful death, personal injury, workers' comp, medical malpractice, and even family law. So if you need it, they have it. All you have to do is call in, email them to find out what their services are and if they can be of service to you. And I promise, even if you don't get anything but a pleasant conversation, you'll never be the same after you call the North Law Firm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that is so awesome. Just want to give a shout out to your staff and to your beautiful wife again. Can't ever forget that. So every chance I get, I got to mention her. But I love the fact of how you all bond together, how you bless the grandkids, how you all spend time with them. So that being said, share with us how you're able to balance marriage, ministry, family, and business and still hold it all together.
Well, I've got 48 hours in my day, not 24. They're just joking. It's actually pretty easy because, and I know it sounds cliche, but I really do place God first in everything. I start my day with Him, I end my day with Him, and everything in between, I'm involving Him, and that gives you the energy to do whatever you want to do.
Wow.
And getting back to Lee Pitts always says, and it's so true, that we're busy doing what we want to do. And I do want to spend time with my wife, my kids, my grandkids, my dad. My dad and I, we spend time together every single week.
That is so
My
awesome.
dad and I, we have to go to church together. So we're busy doing what we want to do, and I'm busy spending time with my family every chance that I get, whether it be here locally or when we take vacations. Because I do believe too that if you work hard, you should play hard.
Come
Yes,
on
sir.
now. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Y'all better hear him on here.
That's it.
Check
That's
out
it.
his page. You'll know he's not exaggerating.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. Listen, I'm still stuck on the Napa Valley thing. I hadn't even got to Dubai and all of that. I'm still stuck on Napa Valley. So when they went to Dubai, I was already in a dream. I'm like, post some more pictures so I can say, oh, ooh. So he means just what he says. Balancing that, because you'll see business, you'll see commercials, and then you'll see the family together. So it's not just something that he says. And then the smiles are real from the family. Sometimes when we are in a, I hate to say it like that, but in a certain status, they smile and act like they get along just because. But we got a chance to see you all away from the office, away from other things, away from other people, and to be in the atmosphere at Lee Pitts, and you look like you actually enjoy one another.
Yes.
That's sometimes that's not easy. We see things, we counsel people, we talk to people, and even when they're in a crowd, that it's like a strain for them to be together or be able to be on one accord while they're in one another's presence.
Mm-hmm.
But not the Norths, not the Norths. And I love it because it's an example to all of us, being able to do all the stuff that you all do public, with the family, and still want to spend time together. That's so important for other couples to see. That's so important for other singles to see, because
Mm-hmm.
one day this is something that you desire. And like you say, you can glean from people that's actually living it,
That's right.
and it makes a
Mm-hmm.
difference. So I
Yes.
say again, thank you.
Yeah, I agree with all of that.
Oh my goodness. And then so we know that this is what you would tell our young people. So advice to other couples on how to be able to balance. Say, for example, they may not be saved, they may not be in church. So just generally, what information would you share with other couples on how to balance marriage, ministry, business, and family together?
You know, I think more than anything, enjoy one another.
That's good.
Always seek to be happy. Never
Mhm.
succumb to strife in the home. Don't sweat the small stuff. There's no need in arguing about things that really, in the grand scheme of things, don't matter.
Hmm.
You know, there are going to be important issues that a couple will have to tackle. But for the most part, you know, just living life, enjoying one another, enjoying the family, without being, as Pastor Roger said, you know, distracted
Yes.
by some of the small stuff.
Hmm.
Anita and I rarely ever argue. I
Oh
mean,
my
it's been
goodness,
a
that's awesome.
long time since we had an argument.
Hmm.
And not saying that early on we didn't have them, but it's been a long time. And it's because we don't sweat the small stuff. We know what's
That's it.
important. And what's funny is the longer we're married, the easier it gets. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Life is good. Life is very good. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
Even though we'll see each other during the day, you know, I'll go my way, she'll go her way during the day because we got things going on. But at the end of the day, I look forward to coming home, spending time with my best friend. And I know that it's the same
Oh,
experience for her. Yeah.
that
So
is so
it is a
sweet.
special thing. Just like the two of you guys, you know, I
Hmm.
see it in you too, and I feel it.
Hmm.
And it's such a special thing. And I wish that for everybody. I just
Me
hope that
too.
everybody's able to experience that.
Me too. I really truly do.
you know, as a man perspective, it is my job to make sure that she reaches her full potential.
Hmm.
That is my
Yeah.
full duty. And on top of that, this is my best friend. I call in the morning. I mean, we talk all day long. I'm a truck driver by trade, so I got plenty of free time holding that wheel. So I'm just
Right.
constantly riding. We talk all day long, and then we have enough time when we come home. We talk some more.
Hmm.
Talk some more.
Talk some more. We don't argue. We have heated fellowships
Heated
that we are
fellowship.
able to communicate right in front of you, and you'll never know that we're arguing.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We call them heated fellowships, and we keep right on moving
Yeah.
because we learn how to tap into what's really important.
Hmm.
Yes.
We don't look at the things of yesterday. We look at the things of today.
Yes.
So we don't lay
Hmm.
down with anger in our heart or bitterness in our heart. You know what I mean? We forgive one another and we move on. And we learn how to fight fair. We learn how to talk to one another
Hmm.
because she
Hmm.
represents me and I represent her. So when I talk down to her, I'm really talking down to me and vice versa. So
Yes.
like you say, the longer we get married, the more we're supposed to understand one another and not take one another for granted. A lot of times people take one another for granted, and then when the opportunity is gone, they miss it, and they continue to repeat the cycle over and over and over. And I tell everybody, you can't look for a rainbow trout in a catfish pond.
Hmm.
It's not gonna work. You got to change the scenery.
Yes. Yes. Wise
Oh,
words.
and then I am curious. I know that your son works at the law firm with you.
Yes.
Um, Working relationship, professional dad son relationship, business. How does that flow day to day?
It's great. In fact, the firm is a family firm in the sense that, so, you know, I'm there. Our son Joseph, he works there as a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Benita is our business promotion manager, so she's there.
Uh huh.
Our daughter, Kim, she's a case manager paralegal, so she's there. And my
Wow.
cousin, Nisi, Nicola North, she's there in our marketing as well. She's the one that you see driving our lawmobile, our car
Wow.
around town all the time, and answering questions for the community. So to see my family during the course of the day
Mm, mm, mm,
is a
mm.
blessing because that's just more time that I get to spend with them. Yes, we're
My
working,
goodness.
and there are times during the day when it's all about work, but every now and then we're able to just share, you know, personal stuff during the day and
Wow.
talk and fellowship. And it is special because if we weren't working together like that, we wouldn't have that time.
That
So I
is so
love it.
true.
Yeah.
Man, he just I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna get all mushy and everything. But I love that I'm a family oriented person. And I have to say it that if you just joined us, you're in the presence of Joe North of the North Law Firm out of Fort Myers, Florida. And he is blessing us real good. If you have not already, please like and share this video because he is dropping some genuine, simple nuggets to help bless your business, marriage, ministry, family, and relationship. That being said, to know that the scripture tells us a man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Hmm.
And now I've laid a foundation to where my children can not only work with me, but they can enjoy working with me. We can be in one another's presence and be able to impart into your kids, and them in turn share things with you to help strengthen and build you. And that's so important.
Mhm.
I guarantee you there are other parents that may be on the line right now that could be watching. That desire to know, you know what, I know my children are doing well, but they're in the other room. They're not far from me. We're connecting, we're talking to one another. And I promise you, that's peace all by itself because they're in another state, in another country, doing something else. And I got to wait till they call me or wait till we get together. But you have been blessed to
Yes.
have them near and to know that they are doing okay. Peace of mind right now. That God, you bless me to see that my kids are okay and they can make it whether I'm here or not. And I know that's peace for your soul, if nothing else.
Yeah, and I don't take it for granted because
Hmm.
I mean you hit the nail on the head. It didn't have to be that way where I get to
That's it.
see my kids and grandkids as much as I do,
Yes.
because there's so many of us who our family members are living, across the country and sometimes even
Hmm.
across the world, and they're
Yes.
doing okay. But there's nothing like actually being
Nothing.
able to see them on a regular basis.
That's it. That's
And then
it.
something else too. You talked about the legacy that we leave, and legacy is not always financial. It's the
Exactly.
lessons that we teach and learn along the way,
Hmm.
and the knowledge that we impart upon our kids and grandkids, such that we want to make sure that in life they succeed because of us and
Yes.
not in spite of us.
Oh my
That
goodness.
we've
Oh my goodness.
helped them along the way, not just financially, but also in life lessons and spiritually.
Yes, sir. Because we're living it before them. So we are sharing a lesson. They're able to see it, not talk about it. Not my mom and dad would have been, but they are there and they are
Mhm.
bringing that thing to life for us. Yeah, we're going to have our differences. Yeah, we're going to have, those little spats, teeth and tongue fall out. But to know that, we can reason together. We in a law firm together. We're in business together. It's just awesome. I'm saying thank you again. I'm just blown away all over
Yeah.
again, to know that. I knew that your son was there, but and I knew that your wife was working, with the business also. But that's awesome, that your
Yes,
your beautiful daughter is in the house too.
yes, yes,
That is so awesome. And then understand that you were raised on the same street. Dunbar High School is your love. Oh my
yes.
goodness. Just to be on the same street in the same neighborhood. And then I have to say congratulations on the street being named Joe North Way. Congratulations again.
Thank you, thank you.
And
Yes,
please,
so yeah, I was born and raised in Dunbar. From the
uh-huh.
time I was 4 years old, I lived on Barden Street,
Hmm.
and that street is being renamed Joe North Way. And that
Congratulations.
street sits in between Martin Luther King and Edison. And at the
Hmm.
very south end of that street, which is going to be Joe North Way, is Dunbar High School. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love Dunbar High School. It's the centerpiece of Dunbar. And we have the North Law Firm Stadium there. And whenever we go to games there, or even set foot on that campus, it's like a family reunion.
I love it.
I've been to a lot of football stadiums, and I just do not get the feel and the love shared among everybody on the grounds at any other stadium like we do at Dunbar High School.
Hmm.
It's just an amazing experience. I absolutely love it. So for the street that I grew up on to intersect with Dunbar High School and to now be known as Joe North Way is just so special, and I'm
Mm.
thankful, thankful, thankful for it.
That is so awesome. I just love it. I'm old fashioned home girl. He always say, wherever we are, that's where your home is. But I'm born and bred in Fort Pierce, and when
Oh,
we got
okay.
married and got ready to move over here, yeah, that's where you used to. I'm like, yeah, but Fort Pierce is in my blood. It's in my blood. It made me who I am.
That's right.
Um, good family values and great teaching. Strong mother, military dad. So it's there, and
Mhm.
you don't ever lose that. So when I see that and hear that, it just touches my heart. It really
Yes,
truly
yes.
does.
Man.
Mm.
You know.
I know I'm stopping you from going where you want to go. Go
No,
ahead.
no. She finna shed some tears. I hear it in her voice.
Listen, you don't have to tell it. Uh, really?
I want to ask this question here back to the lawyer part.
Okay.
And I'm asking this question. It's a twofold question. And I'm asking this question a lot of times when we hire lawyers, we're not really hiring lawyers based on our need. We just hire them as a lawyer. Because if you need a injury lawyer, you should not be hiring a corporate lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so I want to ask you, are you a generalist or a specialist lawyer? And what's the difference between the both of those?
Well, that is an extremely important question because the same way that you would not hire an OBGYN doctor to pull your tooth, you don't
Come on
want
now.
to hire a
That's
general
it.
lawyer to handle your personal injury case. You know,
That's it.
Okay.
um, I've been handling accident and injury cases for 34 years.
Mm.
That's all I do. I don't do real estate law. I don't do criminal law. When people call me for those cases, I have a team of lawyers outside my firm that I refer them to. So I put them in good hands.
That's
But in
good.
terms of what I handle, it's all about the accident and injury cases and
Mm-hmm.
the negligent security cases.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't know what negligent security is, but what it is when someone is on a commercial property, like an apartment complex, a shopping mall, or a nightclub, and there's a history of crime on that property,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no security on it.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody gets hurt either through shooting or stabbing or otherwise, then that person or that person's family has a claim against the property owner, which is the insurance company ultimately, to file a claim for negligent security. And a lot of people don't know that. So I try to educate people as much as possible to know that when you get hurt on commercial property, you do have a claim. But that's all I do is accident and injury cases and negligent security cases. We have a lawyer in the firm who specializes in just family law cases. So whether it
Mm-hmm.
be a divorce, custody, separation, dependency cases, she handles all of those. That's Natasha Lormel. And
Okay.
she also is Haitian, so she speaks fluent Creole. So she's
That's
able to reach
awesome.
a segment of the community that is really going underserved. And then we've got, my son Joseph and another lawyer, Michael Kinzer, who helped me with all of the accident and injury cases. And then Joseph also does all of the hurricane property damage claims, and he does the civil rights violations.
Oh wow. So Spanish speaking and Creole speaking at the firm.
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome.
And we also have, Spanish speaking case managers. And I'll tell you a funny story that happened in the last trial we had. We were picking a jury, and there was one juror who did not really understand too much English. She was Spanish speaking. And Joseph, who was actually picking the jury, he just broke out in the conversation with her in Spanish. And I knew he knew a little Spanish, but I didn't know he was fluent like that. So that caught me by surprise. But I'm so happy that regardless of who we're representing, that there is no language barrier, whether it be English, Creole, Spanish, we're able to help them without any barriers.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. And you don't find that often. Sometimes they have to reach, outside or call the language line to communicate. And sometimes they get confused and sometimes they get scrambled what it is that they're trying to say. But again, the
Hmm.
North Law Firm does have Spanish speaking and Creole speaking available within their firm. So if
Yes.
you're just joining us, just know that you are in the presence of Joe North, Esquire of the North Law Firm out of Fort Myers, Florida. They are also in Plantation, Florida. So you don't have to feel as if I can't make it to one place. There is someone else that another site that you can reach. You
Mhm.
have a toll-free number, 866-416-6784 or 866-41 North. You also have their local number, 239-337-1191, and it is on the screen. And also their email address to be able to reach out. Maybe you just have a question. Maybe there are some things that you don't understand. Maybe you're dealing with something and afraid to ask because you don't want to get the wrong information. Give them a try.
That's it.
Just give them a call. Ask your questions. If
Mhm.
they don't know, I'm sure they'll lead you to the right
That's
people.
it.
Yes.
Now, how important it is, Attorney North, how important it is to hire a lawyer that is experienced with my case that I'm dealing with, and how important it is to have a lawyer that have dealt with me personal as a black man.
Mm.
That's very important because one, in fact, I'll just give you, my personal experience. So I've been doing this for 34 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's not going to be any type of accident or injury case that comes across my desk that I have not handled, from the small cases to the multi-million-dollar cases. I handle them all, and all different types of fact patterns. So you want that so that the lawyer who is handling your case is not trying to learn it on the fly. He already knows it. And then as a black attorney, of course, I know you and your experiences. And you want that fighting for you. You want that on your side because I can tell you that in our justice system, um, sometimes there are two types of justice, and there
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be. Um, when we go to trial, juries will have the tendency, unfortunately, to award African Americans less money than non-African Americans. So it's
Mm-hmm.
good for you to have an African American attorney fighting for you to get you every bit of compensation that someone else would get. And I understand that. So I wouldn't take a lower offer for you when I know what you should be getting.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you want someone who's experienced, and I think it's also good to have someone who looks like you and understands your experiences.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
Awesome right there. I
Mm.
mean, besides a law degree, uh, should the lawyer have any other kind of special training or insight that may apply to my case?
I often say to people that in addition to my law degree, I sometimes feel like I have a medical degree because to handle accident and injury cases, you have to read medical records on a daily basis.
I believe it.
And medical records have a certain language all of their own.
Yes, they
And
do.
yeah, I've gone through all kinds of medical records. So it's good for your lawyer to have some medical background. And after
Mm-hmm.
34 years, I've got a pretty good medical background from reading all
Mm-hmm.
those medical records and talking to the doctors, taking doctors' depositions, and getting doctors as experts on my cases. So yeah, you would want that, especially in a accident and injury case.
That's awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you own it tonight, huh?
Because
He's taking me to school tonight.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
these are the questions that people are afraid to ask because they think they're a dumb question.
Mhm.
I think not answering the question is a dumb question.
Not asking. Yep.
Because
That's
I think
right.
that when we are dealing with ourselves, our life, and we put our life on someone else's hand, we should be able to ask everything that proceeds out of our heart to the individual. If they can't answer or be there for us, I don't think they should be the right lawyer for us.
That's true.
That's right.
So we have to
That's
ask these
right.
type of individual questions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And they should take the time to make sure that they answer all the questions. There should be no question that goes unanswered because these cases are too important. And you got to make sure that you are comfortable in hiring that lawyer, just like you would be with, going to a doctor. You don't want to go to a doctor that you don't feel good about. Well, you
That's
don't
so
want to go
true.
to a lawyer that you don't feel good about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
That's it. That's it. Is there a certain type of approach that you use in winning cases?
Mm.
My son Joseph and I, we talk about this from time to time, and that is, we don't look for reasons not to have a case. We look for reasons to have a case. Sometimes there's a fact pattern that one lawyer may look at it and say, "Nah, I don't think you've got a case there." Well, you got to be creative in how you get justice for somebody,
Mm.
um, because all fact patterns are different, and it may be that you got to go right when someone else would have gone left, but going right is what's going to get justice for your client. So you got to be a little creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I just say work hard. Anyone who knows me knows that I get up early in the morning. Sometimes I'm working here at home. Sometimes I'm in the office. But
Mm-hmm.
you got to work hard. You got to outwork your opponent to make sure that you get justice for your client. And being aggressive is not always standing on a table, jumping up and down, or pounding your fist. Being aggressive is being prepared,
All right.
doing all the back work,
That's good.
working in the edges, if you will. And if you do that, you will be successful. all the details, leaving no stone unturned, dotting every I, crossing every T, just being prepared. And that, in my mind, that's what aggressive is, not necessarily yelling at somebody or jumping up and down.
Hmm. That's awesome.
Is that an easier way of handling a case? Like, is there another way to solve my legal problems, like out of court arrangements that'll save me, cost me less money?
Well,
How would I know?
85, I would say about 85% of the cases do settle without going to court.
Mm.
Sometimes they settle even without us filing a lawsuit. And let me just speak to that for a moment. So, at my law firm, we file lawsuits, we take cases to trial, but we try cases all the way to verdict. That makes it easy for all of our other clients because the insurance companies know that we will take a case to trial.
Hmm.
They also know about the lawyers who will not file lawsuits, who will not try cases, and they lowball those law firms with settlement offers. And sometimes those attorneys will recommend those low offers to their clients, and those clients are settling for less money than they should be getting.
Hmm.
So, yes, cases do settle out of court, but with my law firm, they settle out of court only if they're settling for the right amount of money.
That's
And if
awesome.
they're not selling for the right amount of money, we file the lawsuit and take those to court.
Mm. Wow.
That's awesome.
That's good to know.
That's definitely good to
That's
know.
good to know.
And how will I be informed? How often will I be informed of the progress of my case? Because I know a lot of times people constantly calling. Hey, how things going? Hey, how things going? Should I be calling you or should you be calling me?
Both.
Both.
You are the
Okay.
client. You cannot call my office too much. If you're
Oh,
calling, that's
nice.
because you have a question. There's something on your mind.
Hmm.
Um, Most times, those questions will be handled by one of your case managers at my
Hmm.
office. But if you need to speak to me or one of the other lawyers in the office, that will happen too. But when you're going through one of these cases, it's traumatic enough.
I can
We don't
imagine.
need to make it more traumatic for you with you being ignorant about what's going on. You need to know what's going on in the case, and you need to be a part of the decision making, a part of that the team to decide which route your case is going to take. So
Hmm.
yes, as the client, you're the boss. That's what I always tell my clients. You are the boss. I keep you informed, and I'll do whatever you want to be done in the case. I'll give you the options. I'll explain the positives and the negatives of different routes that we can take. I'll give you my recommendations.
Hmm.
But in spite of my recommendation, you're the boss, you're the client, and we'll do whatever you want us to do.
That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Now, I've been a nurse over 40 years,
Oh
and
wow.
there's always this one particular situation or incident that stays with you that is a feel good moment. Say, for example, I had a young Spanish patient came over on the back of a truck, pregnant with twins. We lost one, but the other one lived. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, that was like, I'll never forget that as long as I live. So, what's that one case that stays with you that is a feel good moment that makes you happy that you are a lawyer?
I'm going to give you two. Now, there have
Okay.
been a lot of cases that stay with me because of the cases just were so tragic, especially cases involving kids. But in terms of two feel good moments that come to my mind, one is I represented a um, a Jamaican farmer out in LaBelle. This had to be, I don't know, 20 years ago, something like that. And he was hurt pretty bad out in the orange fields and became a paraplegic. And a lot of people, especially in his family, his friends, thought his life was over.
Hmm.
Well, we were able to get a very large settlement for him. And with that money, he bought a good piece of land out in Hendry County.
Mm.
And even though he could not farm it because he's a paraplegic, he had someone else farming it for him, and he would be
Wow.
out there in his wheelchair directing them to do this or do that. But he got so much enjoyment out of that.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was a feel good moment that he took
Uh-huh.
that tragedy and made it into something that he still was able to enjoy and enjoy life. And that taught me that, you know, if this man could still get so much enjoyment out of life, can't we
Mhm.
all?
That's
And
it.
then
That's it.
and then there was one other case. This lady had worked for the school district for many years and had gotten hurt on the job, and it was obvious to me that she could never work again. She had gotten older,
Mm.
and the school district would not pay her the permanent total disability for the rest of her life. So
Mhm.
we had to take it to trial, and the judge awarded her disability for the rest of her life, and that
Wow.
came with that a whole bunch of back pay.
Oh my
And she
goodness.
did something with that back pay check that she had always wanted to do all her life, and that is she and her daughter took a trip to Paris.
Oh
And I was
wow.
so happy for this lady that she was
Oh,
able to do that. So those are two feel good moments for me that I was able to help somebody and see them get a lot of happiness
that's
out of
it.
really tragedy. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that gave me chills. Listen, some of those things stay with you and they inspire us to do
Yes.
what we do. They inspire us to keep going. They inspire us to keep touching lives. And then there are things that I know that you've done over your career, over your 34 years, that they may never say thank you for, but in your heart, in your spirit, I know I did the right thing. And
Yes.
that's what I like about it. When I see you, that's what I think about. I'm sure there are a lot of things that you've done for people over the years that they may never have come back and just said thank you. I appreciate you for what you did, but you still do it. Still smile, still coming from the heart. I just want to do the best that I know so that when I sleep at night, when I close my eyes, I know that I did the best that I could do for whoever it was that was before you. And that's what I see when I see you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think that's the case that
Hmm.
I do the best that I can every single day, and that brings me peace. It's something like, when I was in college and law school, my parents always told me, when you've done your best, you don't have to worry about anything. So, as an example, if I'm taking a test or getting a semester grade, if I know that I've done all my homework, prepared as much as I could, and I still got a B or a C, be happy with that, you
Hmm.
know. But if I slacked off,
Hmm.
I didn't go to class, I didn't do the homework, and I got a B or C, that's when I should be upset with myself because I
Hmm.
didn't do all that I should have done. And that's how I approach my practice. I do everything that I can on every single case to the best that I can. And I know that, no one else could have done any better. That brings me peace. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that.
Mm.
Now, if there are young people that are aspiring to be lawyers, do you all have tours that they can come to the law firm? Do you all do that?
Yes. So I say the best thing is to come and just shadow us, whether it be for a day or a week, just to see what it's like to practice law. And
Hmm.
especially if we have a trial going on, to just come and sit in the courtroom and watch a live trial. It's not Law and Order on TV. You get to actually see a live trial. So if there's anybody who's interested in going into the law field to become a lawyer, call us and we'll make sure that you get an opportunity to watch us do the work.
Oh man, you heard it here live on Hanging with the Walkers on this Monday night with Joe North of the North Law Firm. If you are out there, you're in school, college, contemplating, desiring to be a lawyer, and you want to see what it's like for real, not Law and Order. You want to see the real thing. Call their office. Tell them you heard this conversation on Hanging with the Walkers, and you were interested in being able to shadow one of them in court so that you could see and feel the experience that a lawyer does during a trial. And please mention that you heard it here on Hanging with the
That's
Walkers.
right.
Hanging
Mhm.
with the walkers.
Hanging with the Walkers.
So one more question here.
Yes.
How do I know I have a case? Perfect example. I'm walking with friends down the sidewalk. There's a lift in the sidewalk. I tripped over it, skin my knees up, fall on my hand and stuff, hurt my hand, but I'm not hurt at that moment. But later on, in a couple of days, I start feeling pain in my knees. I go to the doctor. Now I got a fracture in my knee that I didn't know I have. What do? I just go about my life? I mean, how do I handle that situation there?
Mm,
I say call us.
mm,
You already done the right thing by going to the doctor so that you can document your injuries and document what happened. But then call us to investigate the whole claim. You know, go out there. We'll go out there and take photographs of the sidewalk. We'll measure, you know, how much off the pieces were, and then we'll put the city or the county or whoever it might be on notice of the claimant, and we'll pursue that for you. And hopefully we'll be able to put you in that 85% where we resolve it without filing a lawsuit. But if we have to file a lawsuit, we'll file the lawsuit for you. But after an incident, the best thing to do is go to the doctor, get it checked out. And in addition to getting it checked out, it's also documentation of the injuries.
mhm.
And if you have the chance, take photographs of what caused you to fall, or if it's a car accident, take photographs of the damage to the vehicles. And then, you know, call a lawyer, especially when you know, at a point of not being at any further risk for injury. You know, give us a call and we'll get started on it for you right away.
Mm,
Because a lot of times, people don't think they have a case if they trip over something on the
mhm,
sidewalk like
mhm.
that. They're just going about their natural life. Then
Right.
weeks down the line, they're going to feeling those pains and trauma from that incident that took place a
Mhm.
couple of
Yeah,
weeks ago.
sometimes you don't feel it right away because you're embarrassed by the fall. You
That's
know,
number
especially the
one.
other people around. You know, the
Mhm.
first thing you want to do is just get up and shake it off and pretend like nothing really happened. And you're right. A lot of times, you know, after the adrenaline has lowered itself, you get home, you get relaxed. That's when you'll start to feel the pain.
That's it.
But yeah, even though you may wait a day or two, it's not too late to file the claim. So go ahead and give us a call, even if it's been a minute.
Awesome.
That's some good information. If you are just joining us, you have the distinct pleasure and honor to be in the presence of this awesome man of God, Joe North, attorney at law at the North Law Firm. He's affectionately known as the Senator of Dunbar. Their office is in two locations. They are in Plantation and they're also in Fort Myers, Florida. We do have all of his information, email, his phone numbers to be able to just ask questions because sometimes you've tabled some things that you probably should have researched. And it's not too late. They'll let you know if you waited too long or if you out of that window to be able to file anything. Just call them. Family man, married, father, husband, grandfather, best friend, uncle, cousin, big brother, sponsor, anything local where there are young people that are trying to pursue greater and better. He's there. Sports, careers, he's there to encourage them. Speaking at different engagements and events, trying to encourage other people to just hang in there, to just succeed, to do better, to leave a legacy for your children. And he's not talking about it. He's doing that because it is a family law firm, and it being a family law firm that lets you know that they're going to do the best for you because they are family oriented. So you have been blessed tonight by the presence of Joe North. Down to earth, loving, friendly, approachable, and all around great
Yes, sir.
guy.
Is it best to get a trust or a living will?
Well, this
If I
gets
may throw
back
that out there.
to this gets back to me staying in my lane. You know, I handle the accident and injury cases,
Uh-huh.
but I do know lawyers who handle those. One is Donald Isaac. Another is Danielle Clark.
Okay,
Another
okay.
is Christy Scott. So I would put you into touch with one of them or someone else because they specialize in those things, and I don't want to tell you wrong.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Just call your office and
Yes,
they'll
and,
give
and we'll
referrals because your
yes,
office does do referrals. Okay, awesome.
yes, absolutely. Yep, we'll give you the telephone numbers of who you should call, and we'll even do the pre-call and call those attorneys and let them know that you're going to be calling.
Oh,
And
that's
then in terms of
nice.
us, you know, our main office is here in Fort Myers with the satellite office over in Broward County. But you know, I always tell people, briefcase will travel. So we handle cases throughout the state, even in other states. Um, I think we probably handle cases out of Atlanta, you know, in Georgia more than any other state, simply because there's so many people who have left Fort Myers and moved up to Atlanta. And when they need a lawyer, they remember us and they'll call us. So we handle quite a few cases up in the Atlanta area, but I've handled cases up in Vermont, um, Ohio, all over the place. So
Oh,
wherever
wow.
you are, if you need us, you know, give us a call.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. That's real awesome.
And check out their website, www.thenorthlawfirm.org. And I'll make sure I put that, excuse me, in our chat. So you'll
Yes.
have that information. Again, www.thenorthlawfirm.org.
Yes.
All right. And I'll make sure I put that in just in case someone is in another state and they're looking at this video, this live or YouTube live. They'll be able to reference that and go to the website. And I did check it out. Nice, nice, nice. A lot of information. Questions are answered before they even pick up the phone to call you. Their questions are answered, what it is that you do and what it is that you offer
Yes.
through the law firm. Okay, www.thenorthlawfirm.org. Got it. Okay, so that is in our chat on tonight. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us that our audience should know about Joe North?
Well, not so much about me, but you know, I just want to let you know and let all the people who are watching and listening know that you are definitely a blessing to others. And that's what God wants us to do. He blesses us so that we can be a blessing to others. And
Yes.
you bringing the information to the people and sharing it in a way that is, you know, Christian based, you know, spiritually based, that people are able to take a lot away from it. Because anything in life, if you can connect it to scripture, which is what you guys do, that's a great foundation.
Yes.
So, I mean, I have been blessed hanging with the Walkers, and I encourage people to continue to follow you guys because you'll
Thank
definitely
you.
be blessed if you follow Hanging with the Walkers.
Thank you so
We
much.
appreciate it.
And we have a part 2, so he usually drops nuggets at this point. Take it away.
Yes. Listen, you just experienced Attorney Joe North Law Firm out of Fort Myers, Florida. We're going into the second part of our segment because you are growing, because you're forever growing.
Yes.
And I just want to share this with you very briefly. And I have a serious topic, but a dynamic topic at the same time that we all struggle with sometimes, who are going through what they're going through. Should a husband and wife have separate bank accounts? Should a husband and wife have separate bank account? Money is one of the biggest issues that couples deal with in marriage. And one major decision that spouse often ponder is whether or not they should keep separate bank accounts or share their funds in one account together. But on tonight, I want to share with some important things with you that we'll consider when making this decision. The first will remind you of what marriage is all about. Marriage is about joining together, not separating. The heart of marriage is two people becoming one and melding all aspects of their lives together as much as possible. Finances are a big part of this. I have heard couples state that they are reluctant to join bank accounts because one spouse has a lot of debt coming into the marriage. I understand this wholeheartedly. But when we enter into marriage, we shouldn't hold anything back from our spouse or expect him or her to hold anything back from us. This includes good things and hard things like debt. Instead, we must collectively approach all issues, create a financial plan, and work together to remove the debt. Neither spouse should feel like he or she has to handle financial matters alone. We must be partners in everything to have a strong, thriving marriage. Now, the next one will tell you the truth about how your financial decisions impact your spouse. Financial decisions in marriages always affect both spouses. Whether you have a joint account or separate account, you both will be affected by the financial decision of one another.
Yes.
Therefore, it's important, my brothers and sisters, that both spouses always talk to one another about their spending and saving.
Mhm.
When a couple decide to keep secrets account, they often operate under the illusion that they will simply split up the bills and take care of their share on their own.
Mhm.
But what many couples fails to see is that this shuts down the open communication they should be having about their finances or other communications.
Mhm.
And this can cause a lot of confusion, frustration, and fighting. Sometimes having a joint account can be helpful in keeping both spouses in the know of what is coming in and going out financially.
Mhm.
Whatever kind of account you both decide to have, be sure to talk about your budget, saving, and spending with one another.
Mhm.
Now, the last but not least, this last one has to do with how much you are willing to trust your spouse.
Mm.
Secrets and lies ruin a marriage. So, a spouse, we must do everything we can to stay honest and open with one another.
So true.
This is a big one. This is a big one. And someone who frequently meets with struggling couples, secret and lies are huge wrecking balls to a marriage.
Mhm.
We counsel, we do pre-marriage counsel, and we deal with this over and over and over every day, that we have separate accounts, my money, their money, etc. And that ruin marriages all over the world.
Mhm.
Therefore, we must do everything we can to protect ourselves from falling into the downhill spiral of keeping secrets from one another or lying to each other. Sadly, separate bank accounts is one way many couples fall into this trap. It's all come down to how much we trust one another. Anytime our spouse doesn't have complete access to part of our lives, we open ourselves up to the temptation of keeping secrets.
That's true.
So even if you choose to have separate accounts for a specific reason, I encourage you to give your spouse the ability to access your account information. This doesn't mean that he or she would be checking up on you all the time. It's just one way to show your spouse that you trust him or her and that you want to share everything about your life with him and her. When I married Barbara, I put everything on the table because I want to give her not 50%, but 100% of me, everything. And so that included my finances, that included my time, that included my love, that included my heart's desire, that included my thoughts, that included everything. Everything I feel, I share with her because I don't want her to say, okay, baby, what's wrong? And we as typical man, oh, nothing, I'm good, I'm all right. But we always are going through something. A man is always thinking how to provide, how to communicate, how to bring security, how to protect his family. Mind is always functioning in that area. And so we as men, the more we share, the less stress we have. The more we give, the more they'll multiply. That's one thing about a woman, it's in her DNA. Whatever you give her, she'll multiply. You give her a house, she'll make it a home. You give her a seed, she'll give you a baby. It's in her DNA to multiply. So the more you give that woman, the more you give, she'll give you. So if you want a happy life and a happy marriage, make your house a happy spouse so it can be a happy house. And when that takes place, my brothers and sisters, this woman will give you everything that you desire. Let him. Words can't explain. Words can't explain what this woman will do for you when you give her all of you. So we are forever growing, my brothers and sisters. So whatever decision that you make sure you give her all of you because we are forever growing.
That's the part too.
Amen, amen, and amen.
That's it. That's it. So that being said, when we follow these points on our part two, it'll keep us out of Joe North's office with the family law. We're not trying to stop your business, but we're trying to keep them from having to come to you for family law counseling. So we work really hard trying to encourage before they get to that point. We work really hard trying to give nuggets. And I gotta share this with you. You know, it's something else. COVID brought us all close together. We couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
You got to find out who it is that you were really married to. Because sometimes you have breaks from one another. You get a chance to go and come back and breathe and, you know, fume. But COVID shut us down together. So you got to know one another. Well, here come the hurricane, did the same thing.
Yes.
Couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. And I started laughing. You know, it's like a cheat diet during the storm. You just eat whatever you can find. So we have these chips that's in our pantry. So every evening I go and separate them and, you know, put out the chips for me. And I come back and the chips gone. So last night he said, "Oh, you know what? You just so sweet. You so wonderful. You even go so far as to pick out all the chips that I want, so I don't have to look at it." I'm saying to
Oh,
myself, that is not what I was doing. Okay, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
but he
Those
saw
were
the best in you.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
but I wouldn't bust myself. I just let it went right on until tonight for
Yeah.
him to think that I was picking out those chips for him.
I think I was just going to get you that purse. Huh.
So as I said, we do everything we can to keep them out of your office for the family law thing. And that being said, the first book I wrote, We Can Make It Work, is what it was all about. Being able to be transparent with those that would read it, to understand and know that every area of a relationship, communication, intimacy, financing, blended family, all of those things that we will deal with in a relationship, there is a way. And that the word has a way, not the walkers, but the word has a way. So I took my time and went through the scriptures to be able to help them to deal with everything communication. When in doubt, don't shout it out. What the word says, to be able to communicate with one another. And when I said there were some things that I thought that I was healed from, when I wrote that book, it let me know that there was still some things there, and we were able to talk about it even in the midst of me writing that book. So like I say, we strive hard for them to not to have to go to family law. We want you to get it right, so that when
Right,
they come
right.
to you, the other services that you may offer, they're able to go and do that and not have to
Mm.
show up in family court for divorce and that sort of thing.
That's right.
Yeah,
So
we don't want that.
we appreciate what you do, but understand and know the Walkers is working hard to keep them out of the family law part of your office. So
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you on that too. Yeah.
yes, definitely. So anything else?
No,
Man,
it has been an
an enjoyable
awesome night.
and enlightening.
Yes, it has.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
We
I
just
thank you
thank you
guys
so
too.
much.
I
Thank you
thank
for
you.
taking time out of your busy schedule to come and hang with the Walkers. It has been such a blessing to us in ways that you'll never know.
Well, thank you. And I hope we'll do it again.
Most
Definitely.
definitely. With the queen this time. With the queen.
Yes, yes.
With the queen. So is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to, your law firm, your wife, your children, or whoever you want to give a shout out to, man of God, your pastor, etc., dad, you can do so, sir.
Well, to all of them. So you just heard it from Pastor Roger. But I will mention my pastor. I go to church over at the Jesus Christ Outreach Center where we got Bishop Watkins, and he's been my
Okay.
pastor for a couple of decades now. So hello, Pastor.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we definitely miss your better half on tonight. All I can say is just awesome to see you guys when you guys walk through the place. It just like a breath of fresh air when I see you guys walking together, because it's in sync. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we have met a lot of people, but you guys are in sync. I mean, it's like you guys strive together, not just in some things, but in everything. Even when your hair is let down, even when you're just having a good time, you guys are in sync with one another. I mean, I love that passion that you guys have for one another, and how you're able to not only bottle it in, but you're able to share it with everyone.
Yes.
And we watch how when you walk in, you don't just walk in and take your seat, but you greet people everywhere you go, from the door all the way in. And people are so reluctant and so happy to see you
Yes, they
guys.
are.
And
Yes,
I
they
tell my
are.
husband, there they go, babe. There they go. There they go. You know what I mean?
And most
And
times,
right now, I'm not up at the same time as well.
and most times you're going to see us together. It's not often that you see one of us without the other. So
Yes,
Oh, I
same
love
here.
it. I
Same
love
here.
it. I
Same
love
here.
it.
Same
yeah.
here.
And if you all are just tapping in tonight, we have the pleasure and honor of hanging out with Joe North of the North Law Firm out of Fort Myers, Florida. You can see him sometimes, him and his beautiful wife, Benita. And I promise you, she has a captivating beauty, so just be careful. But we see them at the Lee Pitts Live After Work in Fort Myers, Florida. Shout out to the man himself.
Next one, December 6th.
The next one is December 6th. Bow ties, gowns, and cocktail dresses.
Yes.
Check out our pages. You'll be able to see and feel the love and laughter at the Leaf Hits Live After Work. Just letting our hair down, going to a place that's meeting beautiful people like the Norths. Again, if you missed it from the beginning, go back to the beginning of the video and be blessed by this awesome interview from Joe North, sharing some personal things, sharing some information and nuggets to help bless your marriage, your ministry, your business, and your family. And understand and know that what he says and what he shares with us, it is what he is living in two locations, 8201 Peters Road, Suite 1000 in Plantation, Florida, 5220 Summerlin Commons Boulevard, Suite 300 in Fort Myers. We do have their information. We will post that. If you have
Okay.
questions about situations in your life, just call. There's no crazy question. The only crazy question is an unasked question.
That's it.
That's right.
So call. There's information, housing, marriage, separation, you name it. Just call. All
That's
they'll
it.
do is just lead you to the right
That's
people
it.
that you need to
That's right.
talk to get your questions answered.
That's it. One last question before we go, Attorney North.
Yes, sir.
Share this with the people. What is the true glue that hold you and the Queen together all these many years?
Well, I think is that we are living not just for one another. Yeah, we enjoy it. We enjoy our marriage. We enjoy one another, but we're also living for Him. You know, trying to be an example for God, because God, He uses us,
Mm-hmm.
His people here on earth, to touch others, to talk to others, and we try to be that example for Him, that others might be led to Him through us. So I think that's a big part of our glue, that we're on one accord with that. And of course, we just got a strong love for one another too.
That's
Love
awesome.
Yes,
beyond
sir.
that.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't hurt.
Come on now.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Come on, let them know. Show them what you're working with.
Yeah, yeah.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness.
That is just truly, truly a blessing to be amongst you guys, to hear what keeping the fire burning in your relationship, what inspiring you to wanna hurry up and get home.
Mhm.
Like the songwriter say, I run red lights and stop signs. I gotta get there on time.
That's
You know,
right. Yeah,
it's nothing like getting off from work, you know what I mean, myself personal, and coming home, you know what I mean, not stopping anywhere. Used to be a time I hit 4 or 5 stops before I get home, but now I'm straight to the house now, waiting to see my friend.
Mhm.
yeah.
And like I ain't talk to her, I talk to her all day long, but to talk more when I get here, it's like we can never run out of words.
That's true.
And that is so refreshing in a marriage.
Yeah.
When you come home to peace, when you come home to love, when you come home to God Himself,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
and when you see the presence of God in your marriage,
Yes.
and you able to share it, like you said earlier, with everyone that you encounter,
That's it.
be a radiant beam of light for those that are in dark areas in their life,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
come into an area and shift the atmosphere. When I was down, but now you're here, I'm up, because I know what you stand for.
That's it.
Means a difference. And
That's
man
it.
of God,
Mhm.
this is the way that we look at you and your wife. You
Mhm.
guys are a radiant beam of light, and we really do appreciate you
Yes, we
guys
do. Yes,
from the
we
bottom
do.
of my heart, and we
Mhm.
love you to the top of the sky. There's no limit how we feel about you guys. We just want to say thank you, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of your journey.
Mm.
Well, thank you, and you've been all of that to us as well. Not just us, but you are that light for our community. Everybody know about you guys, and when you walk into the room, it's the same way. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Man.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. And just know that we love you, and truly, there's nothing you can do about it. Once you've gone with the walkers, it's hard to shake us off, boy. Then it's just family, and you know them. Yes, that's some kin to you. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe not blood, but listen, we're brothers and sisters in Christ,
That's right.
and that
That's
makes us
right.
family.
That's right.
That
Yeah.
makes us family. All right. Well, thank you so much. I know we took up a lot of your time on tonight, but we were just enjoying the moment.
the
We were
time
just
flew by.
Yes, it did.
Thank
Yes, it
you
did.
very
Yes,
much.
it did. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for taking time out to hang out with the Walkers. And again, if you just tapped on, please like and share this video so that someone else can feel the love that we felt. It will be available on YouTube on my channel, Barbara Walker 6795. Please subscribe to the channel so that whenever we go live, you will be able to get notifications to know that Hanging with the Walkers is on there. Shout out to our sponsors, the Good Credit RX, Silas International Cooking, FPF Investment Group, Dr. John Bryson. I thank you so much for believing in us. Thank you so much for sowing into our ministry, into our vision. Our shout out to the CEO, Tiffany Real, who tapped into one of our videos. And now we are on her radio station out of Atlanta, Georgia, She Real Radio. And now we'll be on Sundays at 8 Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. And now we'll be on the Groove Gospel along with Tiffany Real on Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
So shout out to her for believing in us and dragging us along with the She Real radio station out of Atlanta, Georgia. Sending nothing but love to her.
Amen.
And shout out to our pastor, Apostle Lucinda Rich in Fort Pierce, Florida, for all of her prayers and pushing, believing in all of us. I want to say it publicly to everyone. Thank you for voting for me for Traditional Artist of the Year. I still get emotional.
Yep.
I didn't win, but I was nominated.
Yep. Amen.
Mhm.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Our love and condolences to all those that are affected by Hurricane Milton.
Yes.
We continue to pray for you, those that are without lights, power, those that have lost a lot in the storm. We're here for you if you need us. We're here for you. We just continue to keep you in prayers. And let us continue to pray for our government,
Yes.
pray for our presidency. Let's continue to pray for our officials and our local officials. Let us keep them lifted up in the air because the enemy is out to sift them like wheat. And so we have to continue to pray for them and keep them lifted up. So let us not look at it one-sided. Let us continue to pray for everybody because
That's
we
it.
all need prayer. Because
That's
when
it.
it all boiled down, we all need one another. And the enemy is
That's
trying
right.
to get us to separate by using different categories to separate us with. So we got to outsmart the enemy. Whether you're in this category or that category, we still have to pray for both sides. So let us be diligent in our prayer. So we thank you guys so much.
Shout out to
Yes.
Miss Nora Test Potts, the influencer. Congratulations to her. Her channel is blowing up. I love to follow her. She is such an inspiration to us women. She is just out there, and I just love her style and her stamina. So thank you, Miss Nora, for tapping on tonight and hanging out with us. Thank you. All right. Well, we
Amen.
kept you as long as we could.
We appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I
Have an
appreciate you
awesome
guys.
night. And again, I say, know that we love you from the depths of our heart, and truly, there's nothing you can do about it.
And I don't want to do anything about it.
All righty, we'll see you. We'll see you soon.
Thank
All
you,
right.
sir.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Have a
good
good night.
Good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.